The 1967 war. I'm not going to go on about the different phases of the war because we have a video, a documentary that is spectacular on this. What I would like to talk about in this short video are three things. One, how the war began, in particular, the role of the Golan Heights and water. Two, what were the effects of this spectacular Israeli win? And three, Resolution 242. That's the UN resolution that was cobbled together in order to lay out a land for peace agreement that has really defined the negotiations between Israel and the Palestinians ever since. So let's begin with water and the Golan Heights. Tensions that led to the '67 war begin in the Golan Heights. The Golan Heights separates Syria from Israel. It is a high mountainous plateau that falls off, and at the base of which is the Jordan River and Lake Tiberias. And from Lake Tiberias flows the Jordan River that goes down and separates Israel, the West Bank, from the East Bank. That's Transjordan, or Jordan today. Israeli planners understood that for them to build a successful nation, they needed water. And they needed water from Lake Tiberias at the foothills of the Golan Heights. The problem was that in a 1948 war, the truce between Syria and Israel that had been negotiated by the UN established a demilitarized zone, a zone of territory around the Jordan River and Lake Tiberias, where neither side was supposed to enter in order to touch that water that was disputed. UN peacekeeping forces were placed in this demilitarized zone. The problem was that Israel needed that water. It couldn't wait for a resolution to the Arab-Israeli conflict, or for Syria to come around and agree on a border. So as a result, Israel began to send farmers who were allowed to plow their fields in this demilitarized zone. Israel sent these soldiers dressed as farmers in to drain Lake Hula and to build what was called the Israeli National Water Carrier. This water carrier was opened in 1964. But in the process of building this water carrier, Syria began to shoot at these soldiers going in to dig the trenches and lay down the piping. It saw this as a blatant violation of the ceasefire agreement. But as Syria began to attack Israelis, Israel would counterattack. This turned into dogfights in the air between different planes. Syria tried to dam up the feeder streams that went down into Lake Tiberias, and Israel blew up those dams. This tit-for-tat struggle had escalated by 1967. Arabs began to demand that Nasser come around to defending Syria. Why would he be fighting in Yemen, killing other Arabs, when Israel was taking Arab water in the Golan Heights? This embarrassment led Nasser eventually to team up with Syria and Jordan and to sign a triple defense alliance between those countries, a defense alliance that caused Israel to feel like it was surrounded and that it had to take a move against Nasser's increasingly aggressive acts. It should be added that the Israeli National Water Carrier is not unlike the Colorado River for western United States, which has been dammed up and feeds Los Angeles, Nevada, many places in the south of the United States, were Israel not able to tap into that water of Lake Tiberias, it would not have been able to make the desert bloom. It would not have been able to transform Palestine into a land that was attractive to Jews around the world. At the same time, the ability to take water from Lake Tiberias, to drain the swamps of Hula, has drained the entire River Jordan, a river upon which the kingdom of Jordan, the Hashemite kingdom of Jordan, depends for its very life. Today, Lake Tiberias has shrunk in size. The Dead Sea, which is at the end of the Jordan River, after all, as we remember, the River Jordan does not flow into the sea. It flows into the Dead Sea, which is really a lake in the middle of the desert. It's the lowest place on earth. The water collects there, it evaporates. That's why the Dead Sea is called dead, because it has so much salt in it from that years of evaporation. But today, that sea is in rapid decline. If you go to the hotels in Jordan that are along the banks, or used to be along the banks, you'll see that the water is hundreds of yards away from those hotels. And it's becoming smaller and smaller all the time. The River Jordan is just a small little brook, really, that runs down through much of Jordan, because the Jordanians are taking water from it too and depend on it. So the struggle over water between Israel, Syria, Jordan has been central to this conflict. It's not only a struggle over land, people, and nationalism.